Okay. Well, we were speaking on space, especially for the mental well-being, and I think my fellow speakers have actually touched on maintaining the space in many ways. For me, why I chose the hidden treasure as my title for this speech today is basically, I think, to maintain the balance and also to create a space, it should start from young. So if we're going to start from young, I think a lot of problems we can find some solution, because I think the youngsters are the budding people who need to know the knowledge, the wisdom, they have to carry it from, and through their growing stage, I think they will be able to find for us a solution. So the hidden treasures are nowhere, they're just right in front of our eyes. They come in a form of children, grandchildren, and they're there as babies too. Right, so that is the reason why when we started on this collaboration with, I think Wei Chin mentioned about the collaboration a year ago. I find that the older but wiser theme was a very interesting theme that was brought to me by Wei Chin. And we spoke a lot on how do we create the space, how can we actually make this space for the elder generation, the older generation. But in order to touch the older generation, how can we weave in the other generations inside? So that is when I decided that I should bring this theme forward to my students. So that's where we actually shared some of the pictures and the paintings from Wei Chin's The Very Quiet Studio. And I showed it to some of my students. And I actually worked with my St. Anthony's students, actually they are dance students, learning Indian dance as a CCA with me. The beauty of this school is actually most of my students are multi-ethnic group. They not only come from only from the Indians. I have a lot of other Chinese, Eurasians, and Malay students in the Indian dance group. Right, so when I brought in these paintings and they saw the elderly pushing the cart, they saw the elderly sitting down and just gazing away, and there were so many other paintings with regards to the elderlies. So the next question that came up from them is, why are all these elderlies looking very somber and very sad? So then I asked them, so how do you expect us to look at them? So they started to relate stories about their grandparents, and slowly the solution came out. That's when the girls actually realized, Mrs. Sui, I think we are not giving some time or spending some time with them to gain their knowledge. We are not making use of their wisdom. We have only taken them as grandparents who are there to shower love, to buy sweets, to look after them, or bring them to school, babysit them especially. But none of them actually realize as they start growing older, they are the one who's creating the space between the grandparents and themselves. Because as they grow older, so many things are happening in their life. Their secondary school, college, universities, and their own exclusive group of friends. So where is space for the elderlies at home? So we are not looking at them. So that is when they started saying, okay, I think we have come up with a theme for this dance, Mrs. Sui. And I asked them, what is that? Let us take the lotus pond. So it was a very beautiful thing that they came up with. They said, we will create a dance based on a lotus pond. So when I asked them, they said, we have come across a lotus pond near KK Hospital. Sorry to say, of course, nature, we have only seen one lotus pond so far. So one of the students said, yes, that is the only lotus pond that she has come across. When she was young, she used to walk past that because she used to accompany the mother to KK Hospital when the mother was pregnant. So she said, we used to walk past that. When there are no flowers, nobody bothered to look at the pond. But when the colorful flowers bloom, everyone stands there to admire the pond. And nobody seemed to see there are lots of life happening inside. That means within, deeper. Nobody realized that. So that is how actually this whole dance came about. So my girls will be showing the first part, that is the pond. Then comes the livelihood of this lotus that is coming out. And then lastly, I have a beautiful dancer here with me, my assistant instructor, Ms. Ruby Jayasilan. She will be expressing 3 poems that we have extracted from the Very Quiet Studio. And I think I should actually mention it. They are basically Chinese poems from Wu Wei Chai. I think y'all can see these poems from the Very Quiet Studio's website. Yeah, they are there actually. And Wu Wei Chai actually wrote on dignity. Dignity is a very, very sensitive topic, actually. I think so. And I think when it comes to the elderly, that matters most. And if we give them the respect and the love, I think they feel dignified, and that's where the wisdom is shared, right? And the next one is the poet Du Shu Cheng. I hope that I pronounce it correctly. Yes. Okay. Actually, from him, I chose 2 poems. One is Discerning Eyes, and the other one is Affection. And it's so closely related to what my girls have actually related. They told me about their own grandparents, and I thought that these 2 poems actually resemble what they have actually shared with me. So the dance was based on that, and Miss Ruby will be actually portraying that part where she will weave in the poem into the dance. Right, so I don't know how much you can actually see the connection because my girls are not professional dancers, but they are beautiful in front of my eyes. So I thought maybe I should just show how well they can dance and how much they can relate the poems to their dance, right? So that is the thing. And why did I say realization of the hidden treasures? So this is where my topic is coming in. Hidden treasures here, I notice, is the youngsters and the elderly. The elderly didn't realize that the younger ones are here and they are to impart the wisdom to them. And the younger ones don't realize that the elderly are there not only to show love, but to share their wisdom with. If the two can bond together, at the stage where they are growing up and exploring a lot of things, we can find solution to many problems. It's not only society, ecologically, and creativity comes out. Ms. Shanta spoke about creativity. And I emphasize a lot on my girls on creativity. It's not as part of our dance, or as an artist, we actually propagate creativity. But I think each and every child needs to grow with a lot of dreams in them, right? So that is the reason why I always encourage them to recreate some dance. I encourage them to be confident, and I encourage them to dream. Dreams helps them to create a lot of things, right? So that is the thing. So hidden treasures they are there right in front of our eyes. It's just a matter of whether we are seeing them or not. If we can find them, of course, solutions are found. That is the thing, right? So I think my speech is a bit short. I would rather show you all in a dance form. Thank you very much.
A big hand.